The narcissist will never forget you, ever. They won't forget the kind of person you were. They won't forget how you've treated them, how kind you were. They won't forget anything you've done in the sense of the extreme lengths to please them. You feel what I'm saying? And when you're with the narcissist, and like, you got to understand what I'm about to say. When you're with them and you fall in love, like, what you're doing is you're setting a standard for the next supply. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you're setting the standard for the next supply, just like the supply before you set a standard for you, and you just so happen to meet the standard. You feel what I'm saying? Like, they use you as a means of measurement to see what else can I, if I can get this person, who else can I get? You see what I'm saying? They use it just like that as a measuring tool. I know that's probably like messed up to say, but it's just the reality of it all. They want to see how many people they can get under their control for their own entertainment, their own way of doing things. They're not going to tell you it's entertainment. They're going to disguise it as, oh, I'm just going out, or I'm just winding down, or it's just my friends, or they're going to disguise it as such. And I know these things are probably like small, normal gestures that anybody says and does, but when you start to peep out the things that cause problems that you got to talk to them about and or feel some type of way about, that's what I mean about how they're using that as measurement. You feel what I'm saying? Don't ever think, once you start to really see what they're doing and who they are, don't ever think that all the things that you've done, all the things you've done is going to change them. It's not. It doesn't mean nothing. They're just using that as a means of, dang, whatever I'm doing, I'm getting to do all this. So who else can I do the same thing to? That's why the new supply always happens. And like I said, 9 times out of 10, the new supply is the narcissist themselves. So because of that, they're gonna they're gonna do the most extreme things in order to appease them and bring them onto their side, while also devaluing you, while also making you feel like you was never worthy of them to begin with. They do that with everybody before you. They do that with you, and they're gonna do it to the next person. You gotta really understand how hard it is to sustain a loving energy. Like, let's take narcissism out this for a second. Let me just take this out for a second. You really gotta understand how much energy and effort and concentration and focus it takes to love somebody and create a loving and healthy relationship. That takes a lot of energy. That the narcissist is not built like that. They're not built like that at all. They're gonna do that at the beginning, again, to catch you up, but it's gonna stop. It's gonna stop. They'll put that same mask on they put on for you at the beginning with other people, because other people don't have to see them the way that you see them. And I also want to say this about what I just said. Do not, and I repeat, do not confine in the narcissist friends about your relationship. I used to make the grave mistake of trying to vent to people that wasn't of my circle, that was of her circle. You feel what I'm saying? And the result was they were even manipulative towards me, even telling me manipulative things. That's what you call the flying monkeys. The flying monkeys is the concept of, like, you ever seen Wizard of Oz and the Wicked Witch of the West, and the monkeys just do whatever the Wicked Witch of the West says. That's what the flying monkeys are. You see what I'm saying? That's the same concept. The Wicked Witch of the West is the narcissist, the guy or girl. You know what I'm saying? So they'll do and follow whatever they say. So when you confining them, you're giving them information that they're gonna tell the narcissist. They're all conspiring against you. I know it's like, well, why is she here? She keeping me around if they doing all this? Because it's a method of control. It's to keep you guessing. It's to keep you doing the same thing that you was doing, trying to figure it out. Happy some days, irritated some days. Happy some days, irritated some days. Happy some days, sad some days. Happy some days, crying some days. It's to keep you in that. keep you in that bond, that trauma bond they building you. It's such a diabolical play. I kid you not. Like when I start to realize none of these people are here for the betterment of our relationship. They only want to have relationships with people that are okay with doing stuff that you shouldn't do in a relationship. I kid you not, man. Like I used to ask myself a lot, why do you hang with these people? Why do you hang with people who are telling you the stuff they're doing? And I'm not trying to sit here and talk crazy and talk down to people, but when other when their friends are in relationships and they're doing the cheating, the flirting with other people while with you, just imagine if you're not there hanging out with them, hanging out with he or she. Just imagine what they doing when you're not around. You feel what I'm saying? So when you see it, because it's so commonly practiced, like I told you, I would hang out with her circle and just sit and just listen, just sit and listen, and just be like, what? Like, ain't you married, or ain't you in a relate, or stuff like that. I know that's probably like extreme, but it's just, man, they like to hang out together. They like to condone each other's stuff because they think everybody's doing that. Everybody's not doing that, and the new supply fits so well because, like I've always mentioned, they're a narcissist themselves. You feel me? They're just as toxic and also codependent and also just don't know any better because they've been doing this. Sometimes, and I want to state this too, sometimes the new supply isn't a narcissist. They literally can just don't know any better, literally. And they've been this is how they get in relationships by preying on somebody else's emotions to get them on their side and entice them with things that you're not doing to make you feel bad, and you peep it out. And then when you catch wind of it, it's like, dang, why would you do this? And I've never done this to you and or thought about doing it. But because they've been doing it, they think that you're doing it because they do it so much. Let me point this out. Because they do it so much, they think you're doing it to them. So they're trying to get you first. That's a huge one too. Whenever you get in a relationship with a narcissist, at some point they think there's no way that you're this nice. Because if I'm this nice and not stop and I'm gonna do it, that means you're doing it. They'll mirror you, and then they'll mirror you in their own mind, thinking that you're out to get them. That's why they doing most of this stuff anyway. Yeah, they like doing it. Yeah, it gives them dopamine rushes and stuff like that. But for the most part, they think that you are doing it too, because it's like they're telling themselves, "Ain't nobody like this. Ain't nobody this nice. Ain't nobody loyal because I'm hanging out with other people who aren't like that." You know. But the difference is that they all can have fun talking about that stuff. They can't talk to you about that because you're gonna go, what? No. And as you get so engulfed in trying to like make sure they're not, because you can get into a brainwashed routine of trying to keep them from cheating or keep them from doing something that they know they shouldn't be doing because you feel like you got to parent them. I wasn't trying to say that, but it is. You got to become their parent. You got to be their mom, their dad, because they can't act right. And it's the wildest thing that the behavior is like, we're grown. Why are we doing this? Why is this happening? I used to ask her questions like, why are you doing this for? Why are you causing these problems? I'm confused. What's the point? Don't be with me if you're going to do all this. But I want to be with you. No, you just like whatever it is that you're getting out of me, you like that. You like to get that out of me. While also making me feel like a fool. While also making you cry. making it's the problems, and then the overwhelming love bombing to fix the issue and do all the stuff that you asked them to do and or fix. It's not about controlling them. It's about just being in a healthy person in a healthy relationship. And that's something that they cannot do, at least for as long as you think that they're going to do it for. Straight up. You're not going to have a wholesome relationship with the narcissist. They won't change for you. They won't change for anybody. As much as you think the new supply is going to change the narcissist and they're going to be the the king or queen that you want them to be, like, is not, they're not going to do that for them. They're going to put them in the same situation. The thing that I really want you to catch with this video about the narcissist, as they get older, it gets worse. And whoever's there has to deal with that. You know, even the friends at some point stop hanging around with them because it becomes too much, because it becomes too, they'll get engulfed in doing that toxicity. They'll get engulfed. It'll become their identity. And people will stop hanging out with them. I'm not trying to sit here and dog them and nothing like that, because I don't like talking like this, you know what I mean? But I'm just giving you the reality of it all. You know, to put that much effort into somebody and get nothing back but pain and suffering and depression and all this other stuff that you did with this anxiety. You know, you can't control them. And the sooner that you can realize what kind of person you're dealing with, the sooner you can get out of the relationship and get to your peace of mind and get back to rebuilding yourself and finding yourself as soon as possible. There is nothing that they are going to say that their action is going to match. I'm going to say that one more time. There is nothing that they're going to say and that their actions is going to match. They're not going to do that. They just want you to be around. And like I've mentioned, most of the time when you start to overreact and give them reactions and stuff like that, and because they're telling the flying monkeys and the narcissists that you're crazy and you always want to control this, that, and the other, and they're so insecure, you know, they're telling them that while you don't even know that. So when you give them that reaction, like say y'all go hang out and you show up with them and their friends, and y'all get into it about something because y'all get into it about something in public. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all get into it about something in public. Now you match what the narcissist has said to the friends, to the flying monkeys, to the new supply. You match how crazy you look. Reality, all crazy for even doing this to you to begin with. And it's so like this. And it's so overwhelming about how much they want to tear you down. It's so overwhelming because they continue to do it. They continue to do it while you love them. That's the wildest part about all this entire concept of the devaluation, the discard, the hoovers, the dealing with the narcissist in general. At some point, you got to really understand, stop. You don't need, I know you want them to be in your life. I know you want them to be the person you saw them as, to be a better person, but it's not going to happen like that. It's not, unfortunately. I hate to be like that, you know, and tying your life into them, looking for the validation and looking for the reinforcement of the relationship and the effort and the love. It's not going to be like that. And the love they give you is temporary, and it's a facade. Have you ever noticed when y'all do hang out with they friends, that when it's just y'all two, they'll show you that love inside, but when you get in front of them, they're your friend. They're not your, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, you know, in front of people. That's like a key sign that you're dealing with a narcissist, when they boyfriends and girlfriends with you, when ain't nobody around, but when you get in front of people, especially they people, they don't even act like that, you know, and talk to that one person that you've always questioned them about as much as you do. You know what I mean? It's diabolical on all levels. It's so manipulative, and I can't stress enough. If you notice these symptoms and you're dealing with this, just remove yourself. There is nothing you can say and do to get them to change. There is no change, and the new supply is not gonna get them to change either. If anything, they'll adapt to the new supply to coast that relationship out for as long as it's gonna last. But behind closed doors, I wanna stress this to you. Behind closed doors, you are dealing with the narcissist. I'm sorry, the new supply is dealing with the stories about you. They're chasing that ghost. They're chasing to become better than you. You know, the narcissist is using them as a means, or the narcissist is using you as a means of measurement and standard for a new supply to to overcome and be better than. And well, the last person was doing this and doing that. I don't see why you can't. They saying stuff like that. Did you ever hear them say stuff about the last person they was with? The last person I was doing this and doing that with, so I don't see why you can't or do something better. That's how they do you. That's how they get you to compete with that ghost. That new supply is competing with your ghost right now, whether you believe that or not. I just really listen. If you've had to outdo, and when I say outdo the last person they was with, they're doing that with the new supply. So when you're thinking that they're going to change for the new supply, no, they're making them compete with your ghost. They're making you compete with those stories, those times where you've overly done something, you went to the furthest and extreme extents to please them. They're telling those stories to the new supply. The new supply has to figure out how to outdo them. Otherwise, they're going to keep hearing that story, just like you, just like me. you get so word salad with them. You get so confused. The confusion, as long as you're confused and you're trying to figure it out, you're going to lose yourself and try to please them every single time. That new supply is doing that right now. They're trying to outdo you. They're trying to outdo the other person they're triangulating them with. They're trying to outdo the person in their family that they triangulate you with everybody. And you be asking yourself, damn, why is everybody more important to me? Why I thought we were in a relationship. No, you thought you were in a relationship. To them, this is just something to do. This is just something to get by into the next thing, into the next, ooh, shiny object syndrome. Ooh, shiny. Ooh, squirrel. Squirrel and all that. Squirrel. You look around, like that's what this is. That's what it's always been. Especially if you got to always keep them attentive. Like listen, the game is to get you to overwork yourself with them. That's the game. But also understand, they getting that new supply to do it, and they chasing your ghosts. They're always trying to chase out and outdo you. And they're looking at your social media too. You wasn't trying to hear that, and if you don't believe that, they're looking at your social media. Especially after the discard, they definitely checking you out. Period. They want to see what they up against and what they got to do in order to overcome that and keep them so pleased that they won't have to do this with somebody else. Because like I mentioned in my last video, the way they got them, they don't even understand that they have to comply to toxicity going forward with the narcissist. And they have to continue to do that forever. And the moment that they slip and can't hold up that entertainment or whatever it is they're doing that's slightly better than you, you know what I mean? Because I say slightly because most of the time it's slightly. You know what I mean? It might be one thing. This person's funny. I got to hang around this person because this person's funny. Listen, they'll find the craziest and dumbest reasons to be around people. To not be around you, especially not to be around you by yourself. They can't deal with just being intimate with a person and being focused. They can't focus. They can't focus on one person. That's why if you've ever noticed when you're with the new supply this entire time before the discard, there's more times you hung out with other people than it is with you and that person, you and the narcissist. Most of the time. Now, it might be some cases where I could be wrong. I got it. But most of the time, you're spending more time with their friends or just being around people than just y'all two. They cannot sit in their thoughts. They're thinking about the stuff they've done to people, and they can't sit with that. That's why they gotta find external distractions so they don't think about that. That's why they say stuff like, "Why are you always want to mess up stuff? You just want to mess up things. Just be cool and go with the flow." Right? They say stuff like that because they wanna not have to think about the messed up stuff that has corresponded up until this point. I'm telling you, they are thinking about that. They don't want to think about the new supply at the job. You know what I mean? They don't want to think about what they've been doing with them behind your back when it's just you. So let's go hang out somewhere so I don't have to think about that and I can just worry about people watching. A low-key supply watcher. Who's the next? Who's looking at me so I can go and whatever the case may have you. This is what they do. This is what they do, and it's ongoing. They don't stop. Because the moment you try to check them when they're doing this, you're insecure. And they're gonna run that insecure word all the way up. You gonna get so scared to say stuff and do stuff at some point that it's not even gonna be funny about how insecure you feel by just being around them. It becomes you get so much anxiety worrying about what they're doing today. On the weekend, when the weekend come, you probably not gonna see them or hear from them as much as you want. Or this, listen to me. If you see these signs, just remove yourself as soon as possible. It's going to put you and put you in a better position to heal and focus, and don't lose yourself while dealing with them. Remember, the narcissist's plan is to confuse you, to give you the identity they think you should have. You should be a people person. You should be not insecure. You should be okay with toxic things happening. When I say people person, I mean like people gotta chase people and do stuff with people and be distracted all the time from your own problems. That kind of stuff is what I'm talking about, is what the narcissist be doing. Straight up. It's they're more codependent than what they tell you are. And it's wild that it would call you codependent and y'all in a relationship. Ain't that crazy? Like we in a relationship. I understand codependence, and I know it can be toxic. I got that, but we're in a relationship and we rely on each other and we build with each other. When you get in a relationship with somebody that wants to be independent, you just need to remove yourself, because it's not gonna work. And narcissists want to be independent in a relationship. That's why they say go off and do stuff on your own, or make up situations and make up problems that it's not even there, so they can go off and go do what you know they're going to go do. Straight up. So I hope this message finds you well. I'm Fonzie Murph, and I'm out. Peace.